One thing I love and find pleasing about music is when an album cover looks exactly how the music feels, and Gidge's Autumn Bells, which came out in 2014, is exactly that. You've got this beautiful and frosty image which just perfectly encapsulates the music. I mean, the ambient tech house that they were going for on that album is incredibly just cold, you know. It's just got this cold atmospheric feeling to it, and I just feel as though the album cover just seems to perfectly sum it up. Not only that, but it's actually just a great album. Like, it is a really, really good album, one of the most overlooked albums of 2014 easily, and made my decade list, by the way. It was in my top 100 albums of the 2010s because it really is that fantastic in my opinion. It is a very long listen, but I think the length of the album warrants its time. I think it is just so damn good, and you should definitely be checking that out before you check out this album here, New Light. And once again, the album cover here for New Light does match the music bizarrely. They must know exactly what they're doing with this kind of stuff, because this time around it's a bit brighter. The sky is completely white. You see the mountains in the background. The path just has like a hopeful look to it. There's something about this image that just makes everything feel so hopeful. And the music does have that kind of pleasant, we're on our path to good things type of feel. The vocal samples that I use throughout just have this elegance to them. They sound heavenly at points. The entire album feels like just being guided by angels, honestly. There's just such a beauty to the vocals across almost every track that I think is very difficult to replicate, because when you incorporate vocals like this, you have to find a way to match what you're going for instrumentally, and Gidge are just so good at this. Like, they really are nailing it. It's a weird way to review something and start with the final track, but I do feel like the final track completely captures what I'm saying here. The best seems to be getting closer, which is a track that I'm not entirely fond of the instrumental as much as I am on the other tracks, but I do feel like the vocals totally make up for it. The absolutely angelic vocals here are stunning. I do feel like they are a bit more creative with the beats across this album aside from this track, but there is this trip hop feel to it actually that makes it sort of sound like something Massive Attack would do if they completely like stripped away everything and just kept it bare bones to the minimum. The beauty in this album is constantly apparent though. I mean, Perimeter has this hazy and misty atmosphere, just sort of like you're walking through a very, very foggy, weird sort of environment. The way the track progresses though, this is kind of what I was looking for across some of the other tracks too, with the instrumental just having this immunity, John Hopkins-like progression where the synths just sound immaculate, and oh my god, does this track fucking slap. But it's got this subtlety to it though, so it's not like hard hitting in your face. It just has that kind of intergalacticness that you would find on a John Hopkins album, sort of like you're traveling through space and time. The title track, New Light, though, is just tech house perfection, man. Jesus Christ, this instrumental is just stellar. And then, of course, the vocals that come through that, like, it's very rhythmic. It's not too in your face, even though if it was in your face, it probably wouldn't be a bad thing anyway. But they just have this style to them that makes everything feel so chic, you know? The opening track, Quasar, though, is probably the best track here. Jesus Christ, every time I listen to this, I'm instantly thinking, is this Sampha on the vocals? You know Sampha, of course you know Sampha. Is it Sampha on the vocals? Because I don't know, and I really need to know, because it sounds so much like Sampha. I mean, for me, Sampha's just got one of those instantly recognizable voices. So I feel as though if it is not Sampha, it's someone that sounds very much like him. But the vocals here are incorporated so bloody well. The instrumental is definitely one of the best on the whole album, and the vocals completely match it too. I feel like if you took the vocals away, it'd still be a really good track because the beat is great. But the vocals just add this new layer to it, which I absolutely adore. The song, The Cascades, is absolutely stunning. There's just such a beauty to what they do. It's really, really hard to pin down exactly how Gidge do what they do. But it was just exactly like listening to Autumn Bells, where I'm just in awe of almost everything. And this track just takes me back to that because there is just this subtle beauty to it once again. I feel like the subtlety is too heavy on Rotate into Form, which is a track where it just feels a bit too soft, honestly. And some of the tracks towards the end actually started to do this, where the instrumentals weren't quite as lively. I think maybe they shouldn't have gone as soft as they did, but other than that, you know, they're still pretty tracks. Like, they're very pretty on the ears. And I still enjoy what they're doing vocally with the samples and stuff, because they do have a really, really lovely vibe to them, honestly. They're almost placed perfectly on every track, and that's what I appreciate about what Gidge do. Even if the songs aren't exactly grabbing my attention instantaneously, they sound really, really good. I think the way that you incorporate vocals on tracks like this, it takes a lot of skill and talent, and Gidge have got it. Gidge have absolutely got it. So I think I'm going to go 7.5 out of 10. I think this is a really good release. Not quite as good as Autumn Bells, but I think just giving this album a review and highlighting how good it is should hopefully put more people onto them. And check out both albums that I've mentioned here, because they're really worth your time. So thank you for watching this review. Hopefully you do have a good day. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on this if you have listened to it in the comments. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye.